Hey, Planeswalkers, Mythras here. Hope you're doing well and staying safe. Welcome to today where we are doing a turbo draft guide just for you. I'm extremely excited about this. This is one of my favorite events to do on MTG Arena. So I'm going to dive into this here today, talk about some of the stack ranking of the colors for Theros draft. We'll talk about key considerations, and then I'll also give you an overall point of view on how you should be drafting for this particular event. I've had tons of success already, and I wanted to share that success with you. So hopefully you can put some things into farm mode and get here a few times as well, just like me. So very excited about this. So what is turbo draft? So first off, it is drafting 3 packs. We get to keep the cards, but don't be rare draft unless you absolutely need them. But each spell costs 5 or less. Now, it doesn't reduce the effect of the colored mana that's required to cast those creatures. So anything that's double, triple, or also 2 different colors, keep those things in mind because it's going to be important. Now, it's a bot draft, so you're going to really want to know the cards for this set, and we're going to go take a look at those here in a second for Theros Beyond Death. And then additionally, this is the cool little emblem that we get for our Turbo Magic event here. So I did draft this for Ikoria a ton. I got a guide for you. It's down below in the description as well, so you guys can check that out to get an idea of some of these key concepts. I will rewrite one here for you for Theros specifically. Once it's updated, it will also be down below for you as well. But I wanted to get this video out as soon as possible for you before I posted it on my site so that you had access to this awesome information. So what we're going to do before we go play, we're going to go ahead and take a look at the Theros set, because there's a couple of important things that we always have to consider when we're looking at these sets. So the biggest one, first off, is let's go ahead and pull it up. Obviously, we can look at what's going on. You want to get familiar with all the different cards here, and we can see what's going on. So the Theros set is really about enchantments. It's also about some of the beginning of the exile and play from the graveyard as well, with the escape. Everyone's Euro favorite buddy there, obviously banned, but let's go ahead and do a quick take. And then what I'm going to do is I'm also going to drill into a couple of other things here for you as we're looking into this particularly here today in a few moments. So just wanted to refresh your brain and memory with what was going on in Theros so that you can see. The biggest thing with white is it's a lot of creatures, also some enchantments. Blue, we can see, has got the counter and the draw. When we begin to get outside that, we get into things, and obviously everything's got the enchantment component. We get into black, it's got draw, it's got some enchantments as well. The other thing is it's got a lot of the direct kill spells. So these are things that we need to take into account here. Obviously that removal, some of the pain draw and those things like that. So very, very important here as we're kind of buzzing through, and we'll come back and we'll touch on each of these things in a second here. And part of the reason why I'm doing this is because we're going to call out a couple of very, very key things that we got to understand and keep in mind as we're drafting here. So obviously some draw there as well. So we're almost through everything that we need. This is, again, red at a very, very fast clip. Red is primarily going to be bigger creatures here. Additionally, it does have some of that removal, but then we move into green. Green's always the big creature friend here. Now we do get some ramp with Elysian Carotid, so got to keep those in mind. We get some other tricks with some enchantments as well. All important things to remember, my friends. Now, when we start to talk about the strategy, one of the other reasons why I wanted to go through this was so that you could see some of these cards when we get there and talk about that piece as well. Now we get into the multicolored stuff. Really, you're only going to draft those or play these if you get some bombs. Also, if they're in your colors. Otherwise, you're probably going to stick away from a lot of those things because it takes up a lot of mana in terms of casting. So very, very important. Additionally, stay away from some of the colorless lands. It's not going to provide you any value. Shadow Spear is great if you get there, but here is why I wanted to pause for a moment. Altar of Pantheon is the #1 card to be pulling here. Here, your devotion to each color, each combination of colors is increased by 1. add 1 mana of any color. So essentially we can play anything with this. So if you do happen to go past 2, we'll talk about this in strategy a little bit in terms of colors. This isn't a bad one to make sure you have a ton of. You could certainly do a 5-color pile here. I don't recommend that as part of the strategy, but this is going to be a key pull for you, and it's at common, you guys. So this is going to be the big thing with the bot draft is don't focus on the bombs. If you get them, it's going to be great, but really focus on the cards that are going to shore up the deck, and that's what we're going to get into next. So the first piece here in terms of key considerations, so we ran through the deck really quickly, but we will talk about the set colors and then I'll jump into key considerations. In terms of stack ranking, I actually think blue is probably the best. Again, counter magic tends to be very valuable in this format, but also draw. This has tons and tons of draw in it as well. Thirst for Meaning is absolutely incredible, particularly when you're already running enchantment variants. So that's a big piece. Additionally, it's got some really nice counter magics going on here between Deny the Divine. Additionally, we also have Whirlwind Denial, which is huge. So keep those things in mind as you're playing. Generally, I call this my lead color because when you don't have to pay a ton, you want to keep those cards filled. You want to counter your opponents. The other big piece here that you get in terms of counter is Memory Drain. Now, it does take 2 colors, so keep that in mind. So you got to draft a ton of those altars. That's going to be a big piece for you here, but you do get a scry too. Next, you also have Shoal Kraken. A lot of people forget about this, but you get to draw a card, you get a discard whenever you play an enchantment. A lot of creatures are enchantments, and additionally, blue still has some very big bodied creatures, which will come back and we'll talk about some of these things in a moment. Next, I would probably go ahead and pick red. One of the reasons why I like red is we still get Thrill of Possibility. We still have some removal if you need it. But the biggest thing about red here is, again, if we get access to some big, nasty creatures that can really do some things here. Now, particularly, again, at the common space, which is really important for us to remember and keep an eye on. Then I like black. So this is very similar to what we did for Ikoria. Black has removal, it's got draw, both very important components. The thing about black though is at the top end, it's either double. You do have Gary. You also have Rage Scarred Berserker, but Enemy of Enlightenment is really nice, but if we're playing against a lot of players that might be playing draw, he's not going to be as powerful, so we need to keep that in mind. Now, it doesn't mean it can't be a bad thing, but again, we do get a lot of access to remove creatures, so if you are drawing those, either need to be picking creatures off the board or flooding the board with creatures or drawing or countering kind of a thing. Those are the biggest things that I find in terms of the turbo draft. Next, we get into green. Green always has the biggest creatures by far, and that's exactly what you're going to see here. We got Nessian Boar. If you can drop that on the board, Nihilious Forerunner is a big one. Now, the problem with green here in this particular set, though, is lots of doubles and triples. So that doesn't help you out a whole lot. So that's one of the reasons why I would actually stay away from this color, even though you're going to get a lot and get some big stuff out of it. Red actually has the better one here at the top end. When we go grab it here, where is this guy right here? This guy's a 7/3. So very important there, in my opinion, and it's an uncommon, common. Very important to pay attention to. Then last but not least, we get white. Now, white does have access to like shutting things down. We also get the ability to wipe a board, but when we get to the top end, it's not super strong, my friends. Yes, here it isn't bad, here it isn't bad, but again, not super good. We do get a 3/6. Reverent Hoplite is probably one of the better ones because you get a bunch of tokens. But again, things to keep in mind. An example here, again, Dream Trawler looks amazing. Not worth pulling. 4, it's going to cost you 4 to cast, which is going to eat up a ton of things. So you got to absolutely keep that in mind, my friends. So that's the stack ranking. I would go blue, red, black, green, and white. We talked about some of the reasons why we would do that. So next, when we move into the considerations, the first one is going to be draw, always in my opinion. Now, we did talk about colorless, we'll get there in a second. Blue's got a lot of ability to draw. We got some with black as well. Reds is a nice secondary, and then everything else is kind of there. So those are big pieces. We want to be able to keep getting cards in our hand. You can also be careful of milling yourself out, and mill is actually a pretty good strategy in this set. I've used it a few times and it's worked out really well. Again, Shoal Kraken's a big one here for you too. Then we get into that colorless. Like I said here, the big piece when it comes to colorless is all this stuff you can play for free. The biggest one really though is going to be Altar of Pantheon. Like I said, again, this guy is going to do a world of work for you and a number for you, so keep that in mind. And is the best and the strongest card, I think, in this format. So keep that in mind. If you can get it on the board early, you're going to be able to do a lot with it. So just keep that on the top. It's essentially a 5-color mox, so don't forget about that. All right, next, when we move on past draw and colorless, we begin to look at creatures. So the biggest thing about creatures is anything really below 3, I would even say 4, potentially 5 is kind of a waste in this set. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at 6. So everything at 6 that's got big drops is going to be important. So again, like we said, now let's go to 5. 6, 7. We want to do that. We can add 5 in there. Let's do that. So here's what we're seeing. Again, white's double. It's got the best at the top in there. Here we get Shoal Kraken. We get Thrix. We get Witnesses of Tomorrow. Again, the ability to scry if we need to. Plenty of things here at the top end. Brine Giant is great. Ikoria amazing card. Obviously, everyone knows that. Again, black. Again, really being Rage Scarred Berserker, potentially Enemy of Enlightenment. This is a good one as well with the strap. But red has a ton of stuff here at common and uncommon that's really powerful. So as you're drafting against a bot, keep those things in mind. And then we get into green. Green's got a couple, but again, we're running into that problem, the double. So that's one of the reasons why I think red is very powerful on that creature side. We don't have like a ton of haste in this set per se. So makes a difference, and still one of the reasons why it's a little bit closer, I think, between red and black this time as well, relative to when I did Ikoria. And then last but not least, consideration on the land base. You really want to stick to that 2 or 3, as I mentioned, my friends. So let's talk a little bit about the overall point of view, and then I'm going to go ahead and draft as well for you here today, and looking forward to doing that and playing some matches. But the biggest thing, again, that I said is you want to pull that Pantheon card as colorless. That's going to be the biggest piece. Then I focus on red and I look at draw and counter, but I also keep an eye out for creatures. You want to have a healthy blend. If you don't have enough big creatures slamming the board, you're going to run into some problems. So keep that in mind. You can't be all counter, you can't be all draw. You also have to be able to interact with the board. You have to deal damage to your opponents, and keep those things in mind, because it really makes a difference, my friends. So as you begin to ramp up, build the board state, build some of that mana base up, that's really where you're going to begin to overload your opponents. But also keep in mind on your cards, because like I said, mill is a very effective strategy in this particular format as well. In this space, again, when it comes to kind of the land base to close out here, and then talk a little bit, like I said, about that picking already, you're going to really want to run between 12 and 15 lands. You can really probably get away with 12 to 14 if you're pulling the artifacts and getting a lot of those. You can certainly not have to worry as much about that land draw and keep dumping those on the board, and you're going to be able to do a lot of stuff really early. Like I said, they're 5-color moxes. So those are all the key points, my friends. We talked about the stack ranking. We talked about the considerations. We gave you an overall point of view in terms of how you're going to want to operate with this set here, Theros Beyond Death. Now I'm going to go jump into some turbo draft for you here today, and you guys can watch along and see how I play. Additionally, it doesn't pop up right here because we got all the cube stuff, but you can go find it right there. And we're going to go ahead and hop in, and we're going to spend this gold for you. So here's what we got going on. Now, what I do like about this is the problem that I have now is Shatter the Sky. Shatter the Sky is a great card here, and I'll keep my face over here for now. A couple of things. One, it's not as good as, I don't like the white per se, but we might end up getting forced into it. This guy's actually better, the War Leader, in terms of a creature-based drop. This card is worthless here. It's not going to help us as well. So those are a couple of things. The draft helper that I have here is not really going to help us, but allows me to know if I got all the cards. I'm actually going to skip Shatter the Sky. I don't need it. I'm going to go right to this guy here for a nice body for red. So let's do that. So now we move in, again being slightly hurt on our lovely draft here. So let's see. Next, what we may want to do. This guy's a free cast. This guy's a big creature. Again, under 3 is not good. We're in a bad spot. This might be okay on the green side, but I don't want to go into green if I don't have to. I almost feel like the free cantrip here, or not cantrip, but the ability to scry is going to be better for us. So let's see here. Now we could self-mill with this later. I'm going to pull this guy because it's free. All right, so here we go. Again, not hitting too much value. So this is going to be a problem as we're going through this. The biggest value is actually Thirst for Meaning. Deny the Divine is really nice as well, but let's grab that. Now, we haven't hit any of our altars here. We're not going in green. So this is a nice card, Elysian Caryatid, if we do go green. Not a bad one to go with. I might try Omen of the Sea for the draw and the ability to look here. So this is a good white card again. We're not going that path, but here's a very powerful counter spell. So we can certainly do that. We don't have a lot of value anywhere else. So let's go ahead and grab that. All right, so next here, we got Thrill of Possibility. We got a nice big red creature. Let's grab this guy. This might come back to us. Whenever we cast our first spell during each opponent's turn, we may tap or untap target permanent. Not super helpful. Again, this one was good. What do we got here? Spells cost less to cast. We're not, don't have to worry about that. We could go over the top with this one, or block as well. We could cut over to white to start to get some other things in there. Some life gain. Not looking super good for us right now in this particular one. Now, this guy does hit, and some of the denials might help. I don't like being under 3. The only thing is everything else here is under 3. We might pull green just to add it for now. Now, here we go. We get our counter spell. Now, this actually isn't terrible because it attacks each turn, and when it dies, it deals 3 damage, but we're going to go with our memory drain here. Sticking with our blue-red theme. Now here we can gain control of a target creature. That might help us clear a path. Here's the big guy. That's expensive. Let's grab this. Again, not starting out nicely. Now this would take out an altar. We don't have anything super big here. Let's grab that guy. Much more creature heavy than I would like, to be honest. That pays 1. We do get the thin. Not as good though. Let's Grab that one in case we have to go over to white. This is a draw card, so that's good. And if we go white there. All right. Elspeth Conquers Death. Guess we should have went white. Not the play that we want to go. Did we hit anything in red? Now I feel like I was forced to go white. 2 in a row says something, right? Let's see here. And you can pull something back, actually. Let's pull it. We might end up going 3 color, which is not what I want to do, but we'll try it. Ooh, this is a terrible pull for this, by the way. Here's a good one. This one's okay. Oh, brutal. Oh, again, we don't need to pull that, so I already got the cards. Again, green's big here. Could go on the red. Let's grab that one. Now, here's that one I was talking about. So again, a pretty tough going here. So here's one that's certainly a good pull. If we start to cut green, though, what's good in green? This guy's okay just to kill something when it comes in. Let's see here. Oh, not hitting anything. This one's okay, though. Oh, now we get Phoenix. There we go. We will grab that. There's another big guy that might come back to us. We are struggling on this. Let's grab that guy. So here's a big guy again on the white side. Not hitting anything of value. I'm going to throw this in to go over the top at this point. We'll steal again. Oh man, this draft is rough. Anything below is not good. Let's grab that one for now. That. Grab that. We need to cut over. All right. Oh. Now looking good, you guys. All right, let's grab memory drain. We can shut down here. We got a big brute guy. Let's grab thrill. Here you go. Finally an altar. Finally an altar. Here's a whirlwind. No altars again. Oof. Pretty brutal. The double. Let's grab that one. If we do go green, we'll think about it. Thrill. Oof. Again. Let's grab that one. Blue. Let's try that. Here's the big guy. Another big guy. Let's try that guy. All right, so this was an incredibly rough draft. We're gonna play it out though, see how it goes, but certainly we'll see. All right, let's drop all these. Let's drop these. Let's get rid of green. All right, and then we still got black in here. We don't need that. We want to get rid of how many lands? We got 17. We can go way down and go to 13 lands. We can do 13 lands here. Problem is we don't have a ton of Pantheons. Phoenix of Ash really isn't that good. We can pump it, but it's not the best. And we didn't get a ton of draw. So we'll try it and see how it goes, my friends, today, but looking forward to it. This is kind of how you can do it quickly, and we'll move forward from there. All right, let's go ahead and play some Turbo Draft. Obviously, part of the draft is the fact that you got to get some of the cards, and that was obviously, well, actually not obvious, but of all the drafts that I've done, that was the hardest in terms of packs. Now, regret, maybe could have gone white there. I don't know if that would have been the right play. You're still going to be board wiping and hurting your stuff. So it is what it is, though. But we got some decent stuff, so we'll see how it goes. We got a Pantheon right away. Our opponent goes first. We can keep this, though. Wow, that is a start for sure. Do we want to steal? Maybe we do. We'll keep that, actually. We can do this, and then we can decide next turn. Let's drain it. Let's grab that, actually. Bunch of 1/1 damages. Let's see. White green. Here we go. We will let that go. Glad they didn't hit my altar. Actually don't need the land. We still got our counter. We can steal. Let's actually deny that one. Get rid of that one, and we'll go here. There we go. All right, so we are close to lethal here. depending on what they do. They probably got the board wipe card. Let's see here. 3, 5, 6. Puts us at lethal anyway. So we're going to do that so I can look at Omen. Ooh, third color. All right, so all we have to do here is sacrifice, and it gains menace. Gotta think about this. So we can pump 3, go to 7. I think we're good. And we're still at 7. Ooh, I missed that one. No, we just sacked this guy. There we go. Very, very fun. Not bad. So we pulled through with the first one. Not bad. So let's go ahead into our second match here, my friends. Really, really liking that. Again, holding true to some of the big creatures here for Theros from the red, pulling through for us today. All right, let's see what we got. Draws. We got Pantheon again. We will certainly keep this. They got it as well. 2 of them. Oh, it's going to be rough. Going to be rough. All right. Oh, we would like to have that. Could have attacked in there and dealt 4. I need a red though. The best play is to double block here. Unless they have something. Oh no. Bummer. Could have stolen and then sacked, but we did not have the right mana base here. Just too bad. If they hit an enchantment, we're dead. And we're dead anyway here. If only we could get 3 reds on the board. It's not enough. Oh, so close. We needed one more, and we could have been okay. Oh, the 1 red. Good matchup, though. That's what I like about Turbo, too, is it's quick matches. So see how you can get 2 creatures on the board relatively quickly, and it does work really, really fast. So let's go ahead here and dive into the next match. Oh, bummer. Bummer. All right, let's see what we can do. Skull Arbiter. Probably move this up a little bit. All right, we can keep this. Now again, the Pantheon we only have 1 of, so the odds of hitting that a few times are not super good. All right, we can deal with that. Ooh, we'll keep that one for now. Skull Arbiter. Oh, seems like a waste of a deny, to be honest. This one I'll counter. Now, they could lose, they could have lost their envoy there. Hopefully we can get a blue. That's what we need. Not what we needed. We'll hold that still just in case. Skull Arbiter, what are you gonna do, my friend? We will block. We'll play this now. So if they drop this thing on the Moss Viper, we're okay. So we only need 3 other cards to escape it. Little slower match here. Perfect. I will trade. There we go. Close. We have lethal next turn. We can pump Phoenix. There we go. Boom. 2-1. My friends, we're coming around. Like it. All right, let's see what we got going on. Two. Let's keep going. Bum, bum, bum. Blue. We got a lot of blue. That's okay. We got Thirst for Meaning, so we can do that. Discard an enchantments, which could be one of these. Let's see what we got. Can also dump Phoenix, which is probably the better play. Ooh, the draw 3 later though. Let's get rid of him for now. Maybe it's Eidolon. So we got 2 thrills. So we need to discard 2 anyway. There's some good ramp. This is where Mill's really nice. Oh, wow, look at that. Nice play. All right, here we go. What do we want to discard here? Let's get rid of this. What a nice pull for this guy. There we go. What are we going to hit here, my friends? Do they have an exile? We're going to deny it if they go for my Nyxborn. Guess we could have let that hit and then sack the elite instructor, but that's all right. Because all I got to do is drop this guy. It's going to give him indestructible anyway. That would have been the better one. Ooh. What a draw. Block here. We'll give him a bunch of tokens. Bummer on that one. So 2-2, better than actually what I thought we were going to do. And I'm saying that because that pool was not the best, like I said at the beginning. But no excuses, my friends. Let's keep going. 2-2. If we can get to 4, I'll be happy with this. Go 4-3 isn't bad. All right, here we go. Turbo draft it up. All right, we go first. We get some counters. This looks much better. No red though, the double red. Like I said, stay off that. All right, we got our counter. Altar of the Pantheon is amazing. Yeah, we're not gonna let that hit. Pretty powerful. Lots of counters now. All right, let's see what we can do. Ooh, missing a color. There we go. Do we want to counter that? I think we do. Ooh, let's grab one red for the double redder. But wait. I did that because black's got a lot of instant kill spells. There we go. Now I'll play this main, and I'm gonna do it just to see if there's anything else playable we can grab here, which there is. All right, still in it. There we go. Enchanted creatures and enchantment creatures. That's fine. We can wait. I could have memory drain that one. But we still had 2-turn lethal, so that's why I waited. This guy will counter. There we go. Nice. Very, very nice. See, pays to wait, my friends. All right, on to the next matchup for our turbo draft. Look at that, hitting some things today. 3 wins, not bad. Doing it live here for you too. No pressure ever. All right, let's see what we got. How quick can we go off this draft? All right, we keep this because we got a lot of things here that we can do. Terraformer. Pantheon. Do this one. Do that. Do this. Oop. Do that. Ooh, that's bad. That's real bad. Oh, they got a Pantheon. Traveler's Amulet. Costs 1 to go grab your land, which works with Pantheon, I guess. They can pump them once if they want. There we go. Or are they going to counter? Oh, please don't counter. Sack your amulet. Shoot. That's real bad. So they're playing a very similar deck. Bomber. They're playing red-blue. They took my advice. And they're on the better end right now. We got one card. Well, I didn't grab a blue, though. They can pump twice. So here we go. This is huge. This play right here is huge. And exactly why I put Revelers in this deck. Oh, they got their blue anyway. Ooh, here we go. Oh, that is why the steel works so good, my friends. And the scry. We got it. So we got 4 and 2. Very, very excited about this. Look at that. Not bad. Very happy about that. Let's go ahead into the next match. Whew. Not too shabby for what we drafted. I am pretty happy about that. Stayed out of the traps. Sasuke. We will keep this. So we'll go double blue first for the memory drain. Do we want to keep another land? We got plenty though. What I'm wondering is... we can do this. Kind of a weird play. But this will make my flyer better. Want to keep my memory drain available. If they have a counter, it's gonna hurt. All right, good. All right. Question here is, do they have lethal? Depends on what they play here. I just need to steal one. Well, it's not true, because they got the Wave Rider in there still. Might be in trouble. We need to hit the other betrayal. We're at good game, my friends. So not bad with this deck. Pretty happy with it. Be honest. Better than 50% with not the best draft. So pretty exciting nonetheless. Strategy worked out just fine. As you can see, blue is a very, very important color. We got to see all the colors in action. We saw green, we saw white, we saw black, we saw blue, and we saw red. Oddly, when I ran these several times before, I actually hit a lot more red. So I was pretty surprised not to see a lot of players doing that. So very, very happy with the results. Nonetheless, we were above 50%. Not bad here for our turbo draft, my friends. So to close out, let's go back here. We'll claim our goods. Not bad. Almost breaking even. So here's the draft again, very close, 5,000. You break even at about 5, 6. 6 wins, you're up. 5, you're up. I'll take the 4-3 though. Happy about that. Converting this into gems as always for 5,000. Not too bad. So to round out here, Planeswalkers. Again, Altar Pantheon is huge. We only got one of those in the draft. Keep those in mind. Lands, you're going to want to go 12 to 14. We were very aggressive, worked out just fine. You guys got to see that. We didn't have a ton of draw or a lot of counterspell. We had a few things though to make it work, and ultimately again kind of I would say a mediocre draft deck relative to what I've played, or subpar, just because of the packs. So you got to keep those things in mind, and obviously your opponents are going to run into the same challenges as well, and don't put it past me to rare draft or mythic draft if I need it, but the reality is I got most of the Theros already, so you want to win those packs and you want to win those gems. Additionally, my friends, like I said, we talked about the stack rank as well. Again, primarily from my perspective, being blue, red, black, green, and white. Again, probably could be change up between white and green, potentially, maybe somewhat in the black, but I do like red a lot for those creatures like we talked about, and those reasons why. We covered the key considerations when we talk about the major pieces around draw, colorless, creatures, and land base at the beginning. You guys can check that out. And we talked about that overall strategy and pick cycle, which we just covered there slightly a little bit as well. So Planeswalkers, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. This is the Turbo Draft, giving you a top-end strategy for being competitive, hopefully farming. We didn't quite get there today, but happy with the result given what we had. You guys know I love doing this stuff live. I don't make changes, don't make edits, and we go from there. So with that, Planeswalkers, you stay safe. Flip me a like if you enjoyed today's video. Feel free to support the channel in other great ways down below in the details. We'll see you again soon. Good luck on your Turbo Draft. I hope the best. This is one of my favorite formats, and maybe I'll see you out there. So take care, Planeswalkers. Until next time, Mythras out.